Should you homeschool your preschooler? This is a question that a lot of families ask, and it's one that I think is really important to consider. I do think that you should spend at least some time doing formal homeschool with your preschooler. And today I want to share 3 reasons why and some things that you need to think about when you're making this decision for your family and for your child. Please hit like on the video and subscribe to the channel so that you'll get notified whenever a new video is released. So, first of all, when you're trying to decide if you should homeschool your preschooler or if you should just let them play and grow up a little bit more and start homeschool for them when they're a little bit older, you want to think about what is legally required in your state or in the area where you live. And in most places, preschool is not actually legally required. Families often choose preschool for kids who are 3 or 4 years old, but in almost everywhere, the legal requirements for homeschooling don't kick in until your child is a little bit older. So before you make any kind of a decision, the first step always needs to be consulting the laws for the place where you live and figuring out when the minimum age is that kids need to start school. Because in most places, you can wait until your child is a little bit older legally, the decision of whether or not to do any formal school for your preschool age child is often left up to the parents. But there are a lot of studies that show that there are so many benefits for kids who receive high quality preschool education. A good starting point for families who are trying to consider whether or not they should homeschool their preschooler is to think about your reasons for homeschooling. Think about what kinds of benefits you're looking for your child to get from being at home with you and why you're making the choice to homeschool them. I also want to share 3 reasons why homeschooling in preschool can be a really good idea. The first is that homeschooling in preschool prepares your child for kindergarten. The reason that most parents give for sending their kids to school in preschool is to help them prepare for kindergarten. And for homeschool families, preschool can be a great way to prepare kids for kindergarten as well. Preschool can be really helpful to introduce basic academic skills that will help kids be successful in kindergarten. And preschool can also help kids develop gross and fine motor skills as they're practicing their preschool lessons. Now, to be clear, I'm not suggesting that you spend 6 or 8 hours a day working on preschool, but even just a few minutes of a focused preschool lesson can really help your child develop those skills and lay the groundwork for really being successful in future years of their homeschool studies. Second of all, homeschooling in preschool helps kids to develop a love of learning that can continue throughout their school years. Preschoolers are naturally curious, and with the right preschool program, parents can encourage their kids to explore topics that they're interested in. Preschool is also the perfect time to set the tone and expectation for school and to show kids that both school and learning is fun. So when we make homeschooling in preschool a really special bonding time where we can spend one-on-one time with our kids and where our kids can learn that school is really fun through the activities that we choose, it can set up this foundation where they love homeschooling and they love school. And this makes it so much easier to continue homeschooling in the future because we've given our kids a really strong first impression of how much fun this homeschool time is going to be. Finally, homeschooling in preschool is a great way to practice homeschooling. The preschool years are a perfect time for families to experiment and learn how homeschooling works for them. Parents and kids can use this time to practice working together as teachers and students. This is a bond and a new relationship that you'll have with your child, and it's one that takes a couple of years to really understand. Just like it took you time when your child was an infant to get to know them, to get to know their personality, and for them to get to know you, It takes time for them to get to know you and you to get to know them in this new role as their teacher as well. It takes time to learn how your child learns and to develop that relationship with each other. But you'll start to see huge benefits in the second and third and fourth year of homeschooling your child because you've developed that parent teacher or that teacher relationship with your child. And the sooner that you can start that, the sooner you'll start to see those benefits. Parents and kids can use this time to practice working together as teachers and students. And parents should be intentional also to teach their kids good habits around schoolwork. And this can start in preschool. Preschool is the perfect time to set up a simple homeschool routine. And it's also a great chance to practice planning lessons for your child. Parents should also spend time when their kids are in preschool observing their preschoolers. Preschool is the perfect time to learn about your child's learning style and to figure out what kind of curriculum and activities are a good fit for them and a good fit for you and a good fit for your family. At the same time, you can also be exploring different homeschool philosophies and find out what resonates best with you and with your family. So there are so many reasons why it can be really beneficial to do some formal homeschool in preschool. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. And please share in the comments, what are your thoughts about homeschooling in preschool?